My name is Connie Clark. I live in Franklin. I have served on the Tennessee Supreme Court since 2005, and it's my pleasure to be with this group today.
She received her bachelor's degree from Vanderbilt and a master's of arts in teaching from Harvard. She taught high school history and government for 4 years before attending law school. She attended and graduated from Vanderbilt University School of Law and worked in private practice for a Nashville firm for a 10-year period of time. She then served as the circuit court judge in the 21st Judicial District, which covers Hickman, Lewis, Perry, and Williamson counties for a 10-year period of time. From there, she moved on to serve as the director of the Administrative Office of the Courts, which is the agency that oversees all courts in the entire state of Tennessee. From there, she was appointed to the Supreme Court in 2005 by Governor Phil Bredesen. Justice Clark served as the Chief Justice of this court from September of 2010 through August of 2012.
A judge in my district suddenly retired, and I got a call from the governor one day saying, this judge is going to announce his retirement on Monday. He said, I want to appoint you. There's going to be a little frenzy. There are a lot of other political people in the district who want to be considered, and I need you to just say yes right now. And really, in the space of about 2 minutes, I said yes.
What was it like to be the first and sometimes only?
I've never been on a court that had fewer than 2 women, and so didn't ever feel those first dynamics, at least among my colleagues. There are still differences, and there were still conversations about neckties and other things. And maybe Justice Elder had broken them in well, but I thought that they tried really hard to welcome me and to, when there are only 5 members of a court, and in Tennessee we only have 5, it creates a whole new group personality when a single person comes in. And we have to work as a group and sometimes move as a group. And so everybody has to give and take a little bit. It's kind of like brothers and sisters. You don't get to choose them, but once you've got them, you're all part of the family. I often say that I believe that a community is only as strong as the justice it can provide to its most vulnerable citizens. In the midst of several crises we face today, where so many are so vulnerable, it's more important than ever that we keep marching together to make real that elusive, often broken, but always fundamentally critical promise of liberty and justice for all.
So there is great need in Tennessee, and there are excellent lawyers, but not nearly enough of them to help. And that's where the rest of us come in, because there's an army of us. There are 21,000 plus licensed lawyers in Tennessee. And all of us, when we became lawyers, take the same oath. It's an oath to uphold the laws and the Constitution. It's an oath to uphold our ethical obligations, one of which is the ideal that we will provide legal services without charge to other people who need that. Think of what 21,000 of us could do to help those people if each of us only spent a very few hours every week.
Every single time we help a neighbor down the street or a neighbor across the state, we help that person become a more responsible citizen, a more productive citizen, to continue to be able to work and pay bills and pay taxes and operate safely in their own communities. And it's our goal, and has been the goal of the Tennessee Supreme Court formally for the last 10 years, to empower people around our state to appreciate their obligation and to appreciate the privilege they have as lawyers and other professionals to serve the people of Tennessee. And I said, I know that you did not have a good experience yesterday, and I hope you understood that you, from my point of view, you completed your service. You're not required to be here today, but I'm just curious about why you came back. And she said, no, I didn't really like you, and I thought you were being kind of high-handed, but when you forced me to sit here the rest of the day, which I didn't like either. But as I did that, I had to watch you. And what I discovered was I thought you were doing a pretty good job of telling those men what to do when they needed to, and managing things and trying to be fair to both sides. And so I went home last night and told my husband and my little girl,
I want to go back tomorrow and I want to take my daughter and I want her to see, and she said, in this community we don't have many women that are in charge of anything, and I wanted her to see that a woman could be in charge of something and could do that well, and that meant maybe she could grow up and have more opportunities and do more things that she wanted to do. And that story stays with me, and it's still emotional for me after 30 years, because that made a difference to that woman, to that little girl. I never saw them again. But if what we do still stands out because of who we are, whoever we are, and if doing something well means that someone else, it could be a little boy, a little girl, somebody who is a different color from me, somebody who's a different ethnicity from me, but if the accomplishments of one person can inspire any other one person to think I can go farther and I can do better, that's a really important thing.
You now have the obligation and the opportunity to educate others about why justice must never be for sale to the highest bidder and must rely always on nothing more or less than obedience to the rule of law.
People need to trust our court system. They need to know that when they come into court, if they look at the range of judges, that they're going to see folks who look like them, who come from backgrounds similar to theirs. Not everybody has the same philosophy or upbringing, but everybody takes the same oath of office. And I think people just feel more comfortable if they recognize that together there are a group of judges that represent all of the spectrum of the people in that county or that judicial district. And that may have been a true statement by whatever quantified measure existed then. But I need to know what it means today. What's the state of the law today? Is that still predominant? Margaret's already noted that Sissy was a well-behaved rebel, but still a rebel, and that she never asked for permission to go through doors. But here's the important part of that. She never forgot having gotten through the doors to hold them open for other people. Sorry. And when necessary, then and now, she will still drag others, both women and men, through those doors. I will continue to speak out and look for more ways to accomplish this goal. I'm so grateful for this recognition and the renewed energy it gives me as I reflect once again on how far we have left to go, but how exciting it continues to be to travel the road with each of you. Thank you so much for this honor.